Hi guys, it's Tuesday evening, almost 8:30. At 8:30 I'm going to go out and look for the big pink supermoon. If it's hanging low over the lake, if I look like I've been crying, if I'm all puffy and red, which I know I am, it's because I have been. Got another notice today that, you know, I work in residential group homes for developmentally and intellectually challenged adults. Now we're up to 5 who have passed on due to the coronavirus and 3 hospitalized. Now, statistically, that's not a bad number, but of course, even 1 is horrible beyond belief. Um, we have a total of 14 group homes, and so far only a few have been affected. The problem, besides the tremendously unfortunate deaths, which I'm trying to process, is what remains. You know what I mean? The remaining staff and the staff that don't want to come in because it's very scary to expose yourself to this, including yours truly. I'm either very responsible or a coward or something in between, which I'm not sure what's in between, but I'm doing this out of respect for the community and because I'm adhering to guidelines and because it is safer to be at home if you can be, and I'm not a mandated staffer. And my children, my grown kids, really, really, really want me to wait this out and stay in quarantine until it's like safe to come out, as it were. And because I suspect that I possibly might have had this virus with relatively minimal symptoms, obviously I'm still here. um, when I got sick the last time I went to the city, I came back with a fever and what I thought was just a very bad cold or a touch of flu, but it was such a bad cough, including with sternum pain, that my aunt, who's a doctor, also said you should be tested for the antibodies, which as soon as those tests become available in my area, I want to get tested so that I can feel more secure and I can go back to work. Um, One of the big issues, as I was saying, is the comforting and explaining of this to the residents who are confused, scared, don't really know what's going on, some of them, and missing their housemates. I really was very upset this afternoon in particular. I worked in one of these houses extensively, and I knew these victims of the virus very well. And it feels really surreal that they're gone. It's not going to really hit me until I go back and see the empty bedrooms and just. We were all told to prepare for this. They're very much part of the vulnerable population, but the sad truth of the matter is that nobody's not vulnerable to this. I've heard of a baby that has died from this disease. I've heard of a teenager today. There's been a 25-year-old, a 30-year-old, a 38-year-old, a 22-year-old, um, including people that had no pre-existing conditions or comorbidities. But then you also hear about like a 99-year-old grandmother that was about to die, and then you know, and then she didn't. She pulled through. There's people that recover completely. There's ones that only get minimal symptoms, and then once this virus hits your lungs, you really, really have to fight. So I feel guilty about smoking. I mean, I really do. It's kind of stupid to even act like I'm scared of this thing and then smoking. It's so important to guard against the invincible complex. And like my daughter loves to remind me, like, Mom, you're not 38 years old. You're almost 54. You're in that population. And because of where she works, she sees the ages and conditions of people that come in there testing positive. And right now there's a whole floor of people. And she said the morgue is filled up and they're putting bodies on refrigerated trailer trucks. She said there's a lot of overweight 50 somethings. And I also have an autoimmune disorder, so I don't feel that guilty for staying put. And like I say in every upload, I'm still not bored. It's day whatever, and I'm just like reading, listening to Joni Mitchell, writing my poetry like a madwoman, watching movies, cooking, eating. Today I did planting outside. You saw that from the previous upload if you watch. The ducks are back in the yard, and now I've got yellow tulips in the yard, and I've been cleaning up my house. I've been doing little projects here and there, and I love it. Like, I wish I had enough money in the bank that I didn't even have to work. Maybe I'll turn into a mukbang channel. They do very well, lucrative wise, which makes me realize what a fucked up world this is. Oh my God. Okay, so I'll say something judgy, and I'm sure Cherie is listening or watching, although I think she's blocked me or something. I tried to respond to her recently and I couldn't get through, which is just as well, but I'm sure she's here lurking and watching. Hey girl, hey. Or maybe has a different account name. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Once you're on YouTube, you're going to get haters. It's just like a thing. It's like you have a hater, a thumbs down person, then you've arrived. You're relevant in someone's crazy little world in the middle of a fucking global pandemic. But what was I going to say? Oh, the mukbangs. It just astounds me. I mean, mukbang channels, mukbang, I don't know, have always astounded me, and I consider myself a pretty like well-rounded person. Like the things I've experienced and gone through and seen in my life and in this world renders me relatively unshockable, but mukbangs freaking shock the shit out of me, especially now. Like, I don't understand how you can not be that concerned or bothered about this pandemic and run around getting tons and tons and tons of fast food and takeout and just not give a shit about your health and just eat so sexually on camera, and Chantal with her dressing and food all over her mouth and rolling her eyes and moaning. And it's like, oh yeah, people are dying all over the world, but I want 19 million thousand calories a day. And it's so unhealthy. Like, how could you be happy and be that stuffed all the time? Like, after I eat a decent sized meal, I feel gross. I mean, I'm just speaking for myself. I love food. I love to cook it. I love to give it to people and prepare it and plate it. And I love all the rituals that go along with food. And I like a good meal, but I feel so gross if I overeat, even by like 4 bites. I just can't fathom eating that way every day. I've never really binged in my life. I'm not really sure what a binge means because I think it's subjective depending on the person. My bra straps are showing. This top is one of my favorites, but the hem is like going on it. It's too low. I mean, it's cute, it's sexy, it's fun to wear, but today I was outside bending over trying to do gardening, and I'm dressed like Stevie Nicks as it is. I've got like my lace skirt thing on over my leggings. I've got my boots on. Whatever. Yeah, I'm a show off. So sue me. At least I'm not eating myself to death on camera for money. And it's not just about the money. It's about the feeder fetishists. And it's just gross. Like, why would you? Do people really realize what's going on here? Like, I know when I read some of the comments, people suspect about feeders and this and that. Um, but for the most part, people don't realize that, like, um, Shakara Transformation summed it up really, really well a couple of videos ago. I forget which one it was that she meant. She was talking about mukbang channels with her boyfriend, her fiance, and she was talking about how the dynamic of it is BDSM, and it's about power and control, and controlling someone through watching them eat themselves into immobility, and just that sense of power of dangling money in front of someone who needs it and saying, well, you're going to dance on the end of my stick for this money. And obviously Amberlynn Reed relies on it, or she's used to getting tons of money. Pardon my voice. And Chantal needs the money because it's her only job. And most of these mukbang channels who do it for money don't want to get a regular job. In my opinion, hashtag disclaimer, come at me if you want. I really don't even care. I'm not the abnormal one. I've got things wrong with my life, but I'm not eating myself to death on camera. But, then again, I have a regular job caring for people. And right now I'm in mourning about that, so I shouldn't even be going on and on about mukbangs, but it pisses me off that that people are still going out and procuring food for their addiction and just eating with this reckless abandon. Does anyone know that like mukbangs originated in the East, in either China or Japan? I forget. And it's about social eating. It's about, ironically enough, with this social isolation thing we're all doing now, or we're supposed to be doing, um, it's about like eating a meal, preparing a meal, and eating it on camera so that other people can eat with you. It's like sharing a meal. Leave it to the Americans, leave it to the Western world to make it about gluttony and gorging and putting your health at risk and being sloppy about it and making it sexual. Feeder fetishists, a lot of them, I've heard, masturbate while watching fat women eat. Now, my channel comes under heat sometimes for God knows what reason. I'm still waiting for someone to tell me why they fucking hate me. It's not going to get through. You already know that because I'm so disordered, right? I'm so stubborn about my personality disorders. Um, I'll never understand because I don't do anything offensive. I come on, I talk shit. It's my channel. It's unprofessional. It's amateur. I've said that since day one. I just talk about myself and my life and my observations and what I'm going through. But it'll be a cold day in hell that I'm going to eat a ton of food and have it dripping onto my clothing and all over my lips because someone's getting off on it. You know, um, think about that the next time you watch one of these mukbang channels. Someone's like in a basement somewhere fapping to it, in my opinion. Can't prove it. Maybe they're not in a basement. Maybe they're not actually fapping to it, but it's a sick control game. And something in me wants to feel sorry for the mukbangers, but I kind of don't because you could work from home. You could work for a call center. You could stuff envelopes. You could do a lot of other things. I mean, it's just sad. It's sad. I never enjoyed Amberlyn Reed at all. I don't like anything about her personality. But when Chantal first started out, and I don't remember when exactly she started out, I did used to watch her. It's really sad to see what she spiraled down into at this point. But I used to think, and I've said this before, that she was a funny, humorous, quirky, energetic, overweight girl who usually dressed nice. She did great makeup tutorials. She would go out and do things. She would talk about things other than food. She was animated, and now she just looks old and huge and sad, and her mental health to me is very questionable. And I'm saying that as someone bipolar myself. I'm not judging as much as I'm observing, but having said that, I don't enjoy her personality at all. I watch some reaction channels. I still watch Zachary Michael. I really love him. I love Shakara Transformations. YouTube Underground, I like her. Haven't seen Michael Lawrence in a long time. Michael B. Petty, I mean. And most of the other ones I don't watch only because I find their personalities kind of dry, not really entertaining. And when I watch Zach, it's like the only thing that makes it bearable. I don't sit through a full Chantal video. I'll watch a little bit of it and just be like, "Oh God, she's moaning and doing her little happy dance within 2 minutes of the video." So I'm out. But I just wanted to say that because it amazes me that this is a global crisis right now, and I deflect with dark humor at times. I'm like the queen of the memes. My daughter, who's an ICU nurse, and she's around this every fucking day. She loves my memes. She loves my dark humor about it. She loves that we can still laugh. I pray every moment of every day that she stays safe and is unaffected by this virus. I thank God every day that she's a warrior and a hero and a soldier on the front lines. Um, you know, she's in between the ages of Chantal and Amberlyn Reed, and I just say to myself, boy, I'm so blessed and lucky to have a daughter I can be hugely proud of, who's actually serving the community and serving people and not stuffing her face on camera for money. Like I don't know. It's really none of my business, and I know some of you might be watching saying, well, if it bothers you, don't watch it. It's something that exists. It's in society. It's a channel. It's supposed to be watched, right? I mean, I know I'm not even allowed to comment on Chantal's channel. They never show up because she's blocked me or something, which I think is cool. I think it's funny. But when I look at all the other comments, hundreds and hundreds of hundreds that she has cherry picked to support her behavior, I'm stunned. Just like I'm stunned at our president and all the supporters of him. It's like, what's worse, the perpetrator or the ones applauding it? I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, color me confused. I don't get the appeal of watching someone eating. Like, okay, have a couple slices of pizza and talk about your life. Have a bowl of soup and a salad or a grilled cheese sandwich, or I'm trying to think of something I would eat. I get very excited about a bowl of hot steamed vegetables that I put a little bit of butter and Parmesan on. Like, why can't you eat that? Why does it have to be like the worst, greasy, like just cringingly unhealthy food? I don't get it. Anyway, I just came on to say hi and wish you a happy full moon night. We're getting close to Easter. It's going to be kind of a weird Easter this year that I can't see my kids or grandchildren, but I mailed out cards today. I mailed out little gifts. I'm hoping that my best friend Steve in the city gets his big box of food from me by tomorrow. It was supposed to be delivered by today, but of course mail delivery is crazy, especially in Manhattan. Um, I've been watching Governor Cuomo every day with his updates and stuff, and some say this state is still climbing towards the apex and it's going to get worse before it gets better. And some people say that the numbers have already gotten better. I think that's a lot of conjecture at this point, but all we can hope for is better days and to pray for those we've lost, not forget about them, not have the attitude of like, whew, better them than me. I can't stand people that think that old people are disposable or special needs people are somehow, I mean, I hate to even use that word. I hate to even utter it, disposable, but I've heard rumblings, within the cretins and troglodytes in the world who are spared from this so far, whatever, that they think that some people are, I don't know, more deserving of getting this than others. I don't even know. The great equalizer of this disease is that it doesn't care. Redneck hippie, if you're watching this, I love watching your videos, and even though you put this in a very realistic and grim way, you were right that this virus is looking for our lungs. It's looking for lungs. I watched this whole sort of animated short video recently about exactly how the coronavirus functions in the body and just what it does and why some people can fight it better than others and how important it is to have strong lungs and to do lung exercises and I know I'm a hypocrite, you know. My voice being froggy right now is, I'm pretty sure, because of seasonal allergies, because everything's blossoming and blooming and budding out there. And I get this way every spring anyway. But yes, it's wrong of me to smoke. It's a bad habit. Um, I was a non-smoker for a long time. I've done it before, so I know I can do it again. I'm going to start watching my weight and my carbs again when this quarantine's over. But for right now, I'm eating what I want within reason. I don't gorge. I don't binge. I've got a ton now. I went shopping again. I have a ton of vegetables, frozen and fresh, in my fridge. I've been eating a lot of lemons and halos, clementines, taking my vitamins, drinking water, eating normal meals. But I have made some treats. I didn't wind up making the peanut butter cookies today. Um, I haven't baked anything. So far, so good. What I love at night, really, my favorite thing in the world is like cheese and crackers. That's like my jam. Cheese and crackers. Oh my God. Sharp cheddar with jalapenos in it. Yum. But you're not going to catch me eating them on my channel. My channel's not monetized anyway. This is all a moot point. But so yeah, I planted today. I cried about the deceased residents. I talked to some friends, checked in with my kids. Did a lot of poetry writing and posting on Facebook and Instagram, and of course YouTube, and playing with my cats and listening to music and enjoying the ducks in my yard. So that's it for now. Rant over. Boy, that got a little ranty. Let me know what you guys think about mukbangs. If you watch them, if you get entertained, if you just think to yourself, wow, I'm glad I don't have that addiction. Um, I shouldn't judge addictions. I'm an alcoholic. I don't really think that drinking on camera is the same as eating on camera. I don't think anyone, I don't know, are you even allowed to drink on YouTube? I guess they can't stop you. Nobody knows what's in your glass or your cup or whatever, but some people have accused me of doing that, by the way. I have come on here and talked about myself and my struggles and my life after a drinking episode, a slip, a binge, whatever you want to call it. But I've not ever drank anything on camera. So I don't know. If I ever seem out of it or drunk, a lot of times it's just because of my bipolar and where I'm at in my cycle with that, you know. So I'm wearing my eyelashes today. The magnetic ones last a long time. This is like my 5th reusing of them, which now, as I say it, it occurs to me I probably shouldn't even be doing that. The whole face touching thing. Oh my God, I just did it now. But I wash my hands constantly. As a matter of fact, they're really kind of dry and red and raw right now, just like my face is. Oh, don't touch your face. I do have to touch my face every morning, though, when I put my contacts in, so I've never heard anyone mention that yet. Anyway, guys, that's it for me. Time to clean up a little bit, clean off my coffee table, and I have a new Swiffer wet jet. I want to mop my kitchen floor, but maybe tomorrow. And what else was I planning to do tomorrow? I don't think anything. I got to make a couple phone calls to my bank and to some leftover creditors and see if I can get a 1-month extension based on not working right now. But anyway, peace out, you guys. Stay safe and well. Okay. Talk to you soon.